Hi, welcome to this next episode of the Making of Crabapple Farm. This is all about our yurt which we're living in. We've been living in for 2-3 weeks, maybe 4. That's a train going past. I've seen a lot of yurt videos. Our yurt is much smaller than everybody else's seems to be. So I'll show you how we live. It was sunny just a second ago and now it's reverting to its normal state of the English summer this year of just raining. Here we go. Mr. Moo Moo is coming out the yurt. Ah. Okay, so this is Mr. First look inside the yurt. We've got our door, which is pretty cool, and it's even got a lock, although the key is very close to the door handle. We've got a cat flap for Moustache, who's there. We've got this area here where you can take off your Wellington boots. So I'm just taking off my Wellington boots now. So a bit of water comes in under the door, so we've left this bit kind of like just vinyl for the minute. Yeah, cause there's a bit of a gap and we haven't sealed it off yet. You can see also here is where some wires are coming through to my battery. It's for our power, so I'll tell you all about that in a second. This is the quick overview of the yurt. So I was trying to go for a like Dothraki kind of vibe with the yurt, but I haven't really achieved that. But this is my cowskin rug, which I believe is a byproduct of the meat industry, and these are my sheepskin. So that's really as far as I got with the Dothraki. So here's our bed and our lovely covers and fake fur throw. This is very important. So as you can see, we can fit a full-size bed in here. It's pretty good. Then if we go underneath, I have lots of storage boxes underneath. But I also have this wardrobe, which I keep my bestest clothes in that I want to be hung up. Oh, there's Moo Moo going out the cat flap. He's funny. There's my bestest clothes. Whoa, my cowboy jacket thing, cardigan. Yep, and here's the wash bin, our parasol. I keep all the shoes here on this, and the coats on a coat hanger, coat rack here. So you might be surprised to learn that we can actually have a fire in the yurt. I don't know if you were surprised to learn that or not. Gosh, there's a lot of ash in there. I'm gonna get it out. Oh my god. We've got it on a stone so that it doesn't set the yurt on fire, and then we've got a bit of metal behind it. Ooh, we've got a bit of metal behind it here again, so it doesn't set it on fire. And then I had to find all this out. It's really annoying. I had to get this stuff separately, like a connector for the flue, then a metre length of black flue, and then another metre length of double insulated flue. And this thing, this like I think it's silicone, that was already in, and Ben had to cut a circle out of it and shove it through. And then it's got a little hat on the other side to try and stop rain coming in. But I have to say that rain, when it's raining and windy, we can't really light it because the smoke keeps getting blown back into the yurt, and then it was setting our smoke alarm off, and it's just crazy smoky. This is our sort of kitchen, although mainly we've decided to cook up at the barn, which is really dusty. But this is where we keep the rest of the cooking stuff, and some of my toilet trays, and incense of course, which I need to be a hippie, and my lady vase, which is very nice, I got from Etsy. Ooh, perhaps I don't think I did get it from Etsy actually. My bottle of wine in my crab holder that I love. I got from Norfolk. Got the window here. So this is made out of plastic. It's just whatever, I don't know, plastic. And then we've got loads of solar lights. We've got 3. They're pretty bright, which you have to keep them plugged in to the window there all day. But you can, this one actually, oh my gosh, it's really exciting. You can turn it on. You should be able to. What the fuck? There. Whoop! It's sort of like a real light. It's not actually that bright, but 3 of them in here is kind of alright. It's actually quite boiling in here right now because we haven't insulated the yurt and we're going to insulate it tomorrow. So I'll show you some footage of it being insulated. But right now, as soon as the sun comes out, it gets boiling hot. And as soon as it gets dark or gets a bit colder, it's absolutely freezing. Really cold, and we're in August. Wake up in the morning, you're like, everything feels like it's damp because it's so cold. Hi, so we've got the insulation in. Did it? It took best part of a day. Yeah. We've just shoved, basically you've got to unhook a bunch of this stuff. I don't really understand because Ben did it, but then we put it down and fed it through, and the same with the top. It just looks absolutely wild now. It looks like a spaceship. But so we are going to put some cheap white material over the top of it so that it looks a bit more medieval again. And a bit less like because it's quite fun being so bright, but I think it would drive you mad being in here all the time. But it makes such a difference. We had the fire on last night and it was boiling hot. Oh my god. Yes. Is our solar charge controller. Now, I don't really know what this means. I've been trying to figure it out. It's a little bit driving me mad. If anyone does know, I just want to talk to someone about what it means. So there's only 0.3 amps of light coming in at the minute, which I'm kind of like, have I done it wrong? So that's connected up to the panel, and that's how the amount of charge coming in. Now, basically, that's nothing. So I don't know whether it's because the battery's full and therefore no charge can get into it, or because I've done it wrong somehow. But it seems to be working alright. My understanding is the middle number is the voltage represents how full the battery is, and I think that's quite a high voltage. So I'm sort of hoping that it's actually full. And then on the right hand side it says 35 degrees. What's that about? It's not at all. It's about 18 degrees maximum. But maybe that's on the panel, who the hell knows. I've also got this cool thing, which is like an Alexa thing, and it hooks up to the internet. So I turn this on. That's our inverter. I'll show you everything in a second. Plug the stuff in, and then it inverts the power from the battery to be the correct whatever wattage for this. Alexa,
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
She's having
For
trouble.
help, go to the Huawei Highlink app.
Anyway, she does take a minute to come on, but that's pretty cool. And I don't think that she takes very much power. So that's the kind of thing we're plugging into this battery that's charged with the solar, because it doesn't. You can't take anything too heavy, like a hot plate or anything like that. I don't think. If you know otherwise. It's also got the voltage on there, which seems to be the same as on the charge controller. So I think it is measuring the battery voltage, and I think that does mean it's pretty full. But anyway, it hasn't seemed to have gone down to anything like 11 yet. But again, I'm not sure if that is actually measuring the battery charge or not. So I might be just breaking the battery and draining it. So we'll see. Alexa, play Dolly Parton.
Shuffling songs by Dolly Parton on Amazon Music.
Stupid Amazon Music.
My life is likened to a bargain store.
Okay, so I've been unplugging this before I turn it off, because I think that you're supposed to do that, so that it doesn't ruin your electrical equipment. And it does that noise, which I assume it's supposed to do. Anyway, and then I've got this, right, so you're going to have to come in for a closer look. So I think the battery's on 12 volts, but I don't know what that means in watts, but whatever, anyway. But it can't run stuff that needs like a higher wattage. So I think the battery can charge things like a phone or anything that uses USB from this, because I think that all uses 12 volts anyway, or whatever. I don't really fully understand it, to be honest, but I do understand it a bit. So this helps the battery run stuff that's a bit higher. So you probably could plug Alexa in directly, because I don't think she takes that many watts, but the battery itself doesn't even have any plugs on it, so you've got to use this or something. So all I got was this and the battery and no wires and literally no instructions. So I was like, what are you supposed to do? So anyway, I had to buy lots of different wires, and this one's quite good because it just screws. I've put some tape over it just for safety. I don't know if that is safe, probably making it more dangerous, but this unscrews and then you hook a wire over it, and then you can attach that to the battery, which I put inside this box. So it's all a bit complicated, so I'll start from the beginning. This is the charge controller, which is connected to the solar panel. So underneath here is some little terminals, and you basically just unscrew that with a screwdriver, shove the wire in, and then screw it back. Sometimes this came with some wires. So the wires, from the panel, I think that's them, because it says where you're supposed to do it, and then that's to the battery. So I just cut these wires that they gave me, cut a bit off, and use that to connect to the battery. So, but it's quite annoying because on this side it's thin, so you just shove it in there, you screw it down, and then I've just put this tape over it for no reason, just in case something moustache gets to it or something. And then I had to connect it to the battery. Right, so here's the battery inside. It's supposed to have this is supposed to light up when it's fully charged, but it's not doing. I think it is supposed to, but I don't know. It's just like it is now, just like that. So I was like, how are you supposed to attach stuff onto it? Then you've got to buy a separate terminal end, which I've got here. And then I had to buy the right connectors to connect stuff on the wires on there. And then I had to put extra connectors on the wire end so that it would fit onto this terminal thing. And then I had to buy a crimper and crimp it on. It was just like, why? It never ends. So I've plugged on this. I put the battery terminal end on, as you can see there. And then I've attached one end from the charger to the battery and one end from the battery to the inverter. So anyway, I'm just terrified of electrocuting myself, but I think that you don't electrocute yourself unless you touch both sides together at once. This is our bathroom. We've got a sink, we've just cold wash at the minute, a shower, which doesn't work, so we don't have any electricity, a toilet, which does work, and well, we do have a bit of electricity actually running an extension cable from the barn. Yeah, so then we just wash with this exciting bucket. And also I've got this cord, so you can fill up a bucket with hot water, just a demo of it, and then look, how cool is that?